What is up, guys? If you're watching this, that means you got another day. Time for the much anticipated turbo update, guys. I'm just gonna start it off with the meaty part of the story. The turbo has been canceled. I am not putting a turbo in my Mustang. I never will.
It's about that time again.
It started off when I won a set of twin turbos from Nate Ryder. His handle's right here. I actually never knew Nate before this contest that he held on TikTok that I ended up winning thanks to the help of Estefan, this guy right here. Estefan was able to drive enough traffic to Nate's post for me to be selected to win the set of twin turbos. I went and met Nate for the first time for me to go pick up the turbos, and I fully anticipated putting them in the Roush Mustang. We had no idea what kind of power to expect. We didn't know what kind of parts came with it, what would be required. All I knew was that I had 2 physical turbos and a handful of hoses and really nothing else. So I brought that kit to AGX and said, all right guys, you are the ones to trust when it comes to boost. What is it gonna take to put these things in my Mustang? And they took one look at it and said, this is not a good idea. Simply because it required somewhere between $15,000 and $30,000 worth of custom fabrication work to get them to go into the car. Mainly because these turbos just didn't come with anything else we needed. We needed, downpipes, we needed an intercooler, we needed a boost gauge, a boost controller, wiring, and all kinds of other things that just would have required a lot of custom fabrication work. And any car guy knows, once you start introducing custom fab, things just get expensive quickly because it just takes a lot of time to make custom parts for that car that don't otherwise exist for me to just purchase. So we decided, all right, probably not a good idea to try to make these turbos work in my car, so I sold them to a Miata owner. I took the money that I made from that sale, which was admittedly not very much money at all, only a few $100, and I applied it towards the Auto Mafia Racing turbo kit that was designed for the S187 V6 that I currently have. I decided at the time that that was the best option because the kit was advertised as a complete kit, out of the box, ready to go turbo kit for the Mustang. i.e., I wouldn't have to go and custom fabricate anything to put this kit in, making it very affordable for someone like me that wanted to boost my car. The kit was gonna cost me obviously a lot more than a couple $100 that I made from the sale of the twin turbo set that I had. Unfortunately, that kit also is not going to be installed in my car. Without going into details, I'm just going to say that I am not going to put the kit in my car. I do not endorse Auto Mafia Racing at all anymore, and I will not be doing any kind of business with them in the future. I would like to be distanced from their brand as much as possible, and I'll just leave it at that. The brand that I am deciding to work with is going to be Procharger. Procharger makes a Supercharger complete kit for the S187 V6 Mustang that I have, and they're advertising the ability to do somewhere in the neighborhood of 450 to 500 rear wheel horsepower, depending on a few options such as the injectors that I decide to go with, the fuel pump that I go with, and the type of fuel that we run it on. Yes, I am considering E85. We'll look into that a little more once we get the kit installed first. The kit's already been purchased and paid for. It is on its way to my house and should be here. Expected delivery date anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, only because the kits are made to order. So I just have to wait on Procharger to put the kit in the mail and send it to me. I purchased the kit through Lethal Performance, a brand that I'm very excited to work with. They are definitely a go-to source for Mustang parts. I know I've mentioned CJ Pony Parts many times on my channel, and I'm still very grateful for them because they are helping supply a set of Brembo brakes to the build as well. Unfortunately, CJ Pony Parts just didn't have boost kits, so I looked elsewhere and found Lethal Performance, and they were so kind to explain so much about this kit in detail that it gave me lots of confidence in what it could do and how safe it was for my car. Now, I did a lot of talking with some of my Roush buddies, and it seemed like the general consensus was, well, you gotta tune it, obviously, to make it work with the Mustang, so who do we tune it with? There were so many questions, there were so many different places that were recommended, such as Palm Beach and Lund and Bama. where do you go when you tune your Mustang? Well, the majority of people suggested if you're going to tune a V6 S197, the guys to go to are MPT, More Power Tuning. I'm going to put their handle right here. And also I'm going to put Lethal Performance's handle right here. So if you are a Mustang owner and you're looking for someone to purchase a Procharger kit from, you want to boost your Mustang, I did all the research I could and they had the best deal, and they also offered some customization options. Mustang pages carry different parts at different rates at different times, and it just kind of depends. But I have friends at CJ Pony Parts, I have friends at American Muscle, and now I have friends at Lethal Performance as well, and they all help me out in different ways. So I love to work with all three of those brands, and now I'm happy to work with MPT as well. I'm very excited to see what kind of power MPT is able to squeeze out of this Procharger kit that goes on the Mustang. Now, for those of you that were excited about the turbo, don't freak out yet, because my supercharger is very unique, and I'll tell you why. It is not your traditional twin screw supercharger. So anybody that likes that whining sound that the superchargers make, mine will not do that. Instead, it is a centrifugal, I think that's how you say it, centrifugal supercharger, and it will have sounds similar to the Spoolie Boys. The C word. How that works is it basically just compresses air and shoves it into the engine, just kind of like a turbo, and it even looks like a turbo, but it's driven by the engine instead of the exhaust, so that makes it different from a turbo. And it even comes with a big red blow-off valve. Thank you, Nate, for that suggestion to put that on the car. The big red blow-off valve is gonna give us those sounds every time there's a buildup in boost that needs to get released and it isn't being used by the throttle. It's kind of like having the best of both worlds. We've got a supercharger. It's gonna be really safe for the engine, it's gonna be really reliable, and it's gonna put down some serious power, and it's gonna spool up and make purge sounds just like a turbo would. And it comes as a complete kit ready to go for your car. So if you're thinking about boosting your car and you wanna do something, I highly recommend the Procharger. I haven't tried it out yet, but I have a lot of confidence in this kit, and I'm really excited to tell you guys more. We're gonna do the first reaction videos, we're gonna do the installation, as much of that as I can get for you guys. We're gonna do ride-alongs and reaction videos and all the content that I possibly can. And of course, we're going to race the Burlocker in Utah. I'm gonna take my boosted V6 Mustang up against his GT350 Shelby. The only caveat here though is that I'm afraid, I am genuinely afraid that by the time I get my car boosted with the supercharger, he's gonna have a supercharger, which might result in me losing the race. But regardless, we're gonna race no matter what. So make sure you subscribe to both of our channels, because that's gonna be the Mustang race of the year. Guys, thanks so much for watching on the turbo update slash supercharger, now supercharger update. I just wanted to make sure that you guys were up to speed on the build and what we're doing. I don't mean to like just dangle this for too long. I wanna keep you guys excited about it, and I promise you, I want it the supercharger in my car as fast as possible, and we'll have updates for you as soon as it arrives and keep you updated as AGX installs it and we get this thing out to Utah for the race. I upload videos every single Tuesday, every single Thursday, and every single Sunday, guys. I'm going YouTuber 2020. We're running out of time here, but the subs are coming in. I really want to crack 10,000. I think this race is going to be the key to that, but we will find out. Only time will tell. I'll catch you guys at the next episode. Peace.
I might lie to you just to get through the night with you. Hope that's alright. Know you lie to me. It's only right.